Hey everyone, Kevin Crouch here, and I wanted to just briefly come to you with a little bit of information that I think could make a big difference. And you've heard me talk about the importance of warnings, and if you pay attention to severe weather at all, you know that there's different kinds of alerts that the National Weather Service puts out, whether they be advisories, watches, or warnings. And I'm sure you all have seen the meme that's gone around, right? Where I'm pointing to a screen that has a graphic on it that I believe the National Weather Service has publicized before. Um, I actually borrowed it from one of those offices. They had it on there, and I thought, hey, for this class of elementary kids, this would be perfect to help them understand the difference between a watch and a warning. And I have to say that apparently that was very successful, as it apparently went viral and a lot of people saw that. But I wanted to give a little bit more in-depth information and make this a video that you can share with your family and friends to help you understand the difference between those three kinds of alerts. Now, usually when severe weather is around, we see watches and warnings, but you don't see advisories so much, and advisories don't often deal with severe weather. A lot of the time, it's more kind of day-to-day stuff. For example, we have recently seen a lot of wind advisories here in North Texas, and so an advisory in the case of wind is just letting you know, hey, it's going to be windy today. It's going to be especially windy today, more so than usual. Sometimes there's even winter weather advisories, right? And there's winter weather watches and warnings as well. But an advisory is just generally saying, hey, today there's going to be a little bit different than normal weather to pay attention to. We also have things like dense fog advisories and those kinds of things. So it's not immediately life-threatening, but it is weather that you need to be paying attention to. Then we move on to watches, and for example, a tornado watch, or a severe thunderstorm watch, or a flash flood watch. These cover large areas. Sometimes these can cover an entire region or an entire state. Here in Texas, a lot of the time it's going to cover a couple of metro areas, maybe. We've usually seen them as a big polygon, a big box, right, that covers a massive area. Nowadays, it's more, they just kind of outline the counties that are affected, but it is a multiple county advisory. It is letting you know that in that area, a certain kind of weather is possible. For example, a severe thunderstorm watch means that in this area, it is possible we could see severe thunderstorms develop. If it's a tornado watch, that means the storms that develop in this area could become tornadic. Now, the next step up from that, obviously, is a warning, okay? So then you have a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. That means that one of two things has happened. Either a tornado or a severe thunderstorm conditions have been observed and are actively happening right now, or those things are imminent. So in the case of a tornado, if a tornado is considered imminent, that means that a severe thunderstorm is actively happening that is currently producing the conditions that create tornadoes. There's been rotation or maybe a wall cloud observed, or there's tight enough circulation on radar that we're seeing that. It could also mean that a tornado has been seen, or sometimes even on radar, we can see conditions. For example, we can see what's called a debris ball or a debris signature. If you look at radar, sometimes you'll see a little blue area on a correlation coefficient view, and that's telling you that there is basically debris being raised up from the ground. When you see the reds and other colors, it means that there's rain falling, but when you see that blue inside of the red, that means that there's debris being lifted aloft, right? Lifted up into the air, so it's going upward. You never want that to happen in a thunderstorm, and that generally means that we're looking at a tornado. So that's usually going to prompt a tornado warning. In the case of a severe thunderstorm warning, it means that winds at or above 58 miles per hour have been observed, or that radar is indicating that those are happening or very possible. Or in the case of hail, it means that an inch or more in diameter sized hail has been either observed or, again, is very possible according to radar. Flash flood warning, that means that we're looking at rainfall rates that are going to most likely produce flash flood conditions in one particular area, or that means that we may have observed a flash flood taking place. Now, Something a little bit different than this that I was asked about just last night from a friend of mine is tornado emergencies. Okay, so a tornado, we have a tornado watch, a tornado warning, and then at times you have a tornado emergency. Well, a tornado emergency means that you have a destructive tornado that has been observed or confirmed that is heading towards a population center. Sometimes you're going to have a tornado emergency that's for a particular town. Sometimes it's for a county, but usually it's going to be more localized than that. So you have, we'll say we have a tornado emergency for Waxahachie or a tornado emergency for Midlothian. That means that a destructive tornado has been observed or confirmed and is heading towards that population center. Tornado emergencies don't happen often. It's kind of for those special situations. And then even in tornado warnings, you're going to see there's different kinds of warnings. Sometimes there's particularly dangerous situation tornado warnings that go out. So even within these warnings, there's different criteria that can apply. So anytime a warning is issued, be sure to tune into Ellis County Weather to get more information about what that warning entails. Nowadays, there's even severe thunderstorm warnings that have a tag with them where a tornado is possible. So you could have a severe thunderstorm the severe thunderstorm warning where they're saying that this storm could produce a tornado and that it's particularly capable of that above maybe other severe thunderstorms that we see. So it's a good idea to stay tuned to Ellis County Weather to have different ways of receiving warnings. Just this morning I was in a meeting where we talked about the fact that if you're in a rural area where cell service is sketchy at best, where you may or may not get TV service that's very good, you won't hear outdoor sirens, you want to make sure you have a weather radio with alarms set on it. You can personalize those alarms that will wake you up and get your attention if a warning is issued. And if there's a severe storm going on, sometimes you're not going to be able to get messaging any other way. So make sure that you are prepared. And if you have any questions at all about how to stay prepared for severe weather, send a message in to the Ellis County Weather page or go to elliscountyweather.com. The Contact Us button is there. I would love to hear from you and answer your questions and make sure that you are prepared for severe weather. Stay tuned for more weather coverage from Ellis County Weather as well as more Tuesday tip segments. I am looking forward to bringing more interesting things to you. And if you have suggestions for what you want to see, make sure to put those in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.